This is the new Odyssey OLED G8 gaming monitor from Samsung. It's a 32-inch 4K QD-OLED panel featuring Samsung's new processor and this striking glare-free technology that makes this panel perfect for any situation, including this extremely bright room here. I'm Alex and I do down-to-earth tech videos. It's fast, it's beautiful, it's not the cheapest, but is it worth the money? Let's find out. At the time of recording, you can find this monitor for about $1,200 in the US or £1,100 here in the UK. It does do a bit more than a traditional monitor. I mean, quite a bit more as you'll see here today, but it's not perfect. In terms of the design of this monitor, wow. The main call out here is how thin it looks. When I first saw this at Samsung's office 2-3 months ago, that was the first thing that caught my eye. It was like how thin it was. Followed very closely though by the amazing image quality here and how little glare it has. This monitor not only performs amazingly, it looks the part as well. Even little things like putting the stand together is a simple twist mechanism that makes it a breeze to put together, and to send it back to Samsung is going to be easy for me to undo it as well. No tools required, very straightforward. I do have a bit of criticism here on this cable management solution behind the monitor. It's a bit basic, let's be honest, right? And it ruins this sleek design a little bit, but easy enough to just use some cable ties and hide it away in your own setup. And if you're using an arm, that's not going to be a problem for you. But yeah, I wish they made it so that, we could route the cables maybe, through the stand. Lots of people do that. Overall though, I think this is such a refreshing take on gaming monitors, I do like some of the styles that, that are out there right now with more aggressive looking, but it's nice to move away from that aggressive black monitor look, right? This metal design is a head turner and it will look stunning anywhere really. This video is not sponsored by Samsung. They did send me the monitor for review, but no money changed hands and I will be sending it back after this. This video does have a sponsor though, Nebula, and they just released the Nebula Cosmos 4K SE projector, which I'm really excited to share with you. At this price range with Dolby Vision support, it's gonna be really hard to find anything better. The Cosmos 4K SE is designed with portability in mind. It's quite compact with a comfortable soft silicone hand as well, so it makes it very easy to move between rooms or even take it outside if you want. The projector has two HDMI 2.1 ports at the back, one of which supports eARC, so you can connect it to your soundbar for example, and still have a port for your gaming console or even other devices. A 4K 60 as well with lossless transmission. There's also a USB port and a 3.5mm audio jack and a 1/4-inch mount at the bottom here, so you can set it up in different configurations in your room. What is great about this out of the box is that it has IEA 4.0. It stands for Intelligent Environment Adaptation. And what that really means is that it automatically detects a screen or wall and adjusts the image to fit that surface within seconds. The Nebula Cosmos projects a very crisp, very bright image as well, up to 200 inches in the size of the screen with 1800 ANSI lumens, which is quite impressive for something that is this portable and at this price range. This smart projector, like I said, is all about flexibility. You can use it to put it in your living room, put it in your kids' room for example for a bit of fun, or even take it outdoors for an evening of gaming and entertainment, or even just watching movies, right? The remote has voice control and lights up automatically in the dark as well, which is super handy, and the Cosmos comes with all the smart TV features that you'd expect, like Apple TV, YouTube, Disney Plus and Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of them. Overall, the Nebula Cosmos 4K SE is fantastic for movie nights, sports events, I use that a lot for that, or even parties. True story, I attended a wedding anniversary in Los Angeles a few years ago where they projected old family videos, and it added such a kind of a personal touch to the party. I love that idea. You can cast content from your devices as well, and the speakers on this is so impressive for something this size. Yeah, in most situations you might not even need extra speakers. Right now in the UK there's a special £200 discount on this model with the code COSMOS4K SE UK until October 19th. Thanks Nebula for sponsoring this video. From an ergonomic perspective, it has everything you want really. Height adjustable, tilting. Actually, when it comes to tilt, I think it has the best tilt angle I've tried so far. Firstly, we've got this movement here, which is really, really useful. I mean, it's actually an underrated feature for the monitors don't have. Some of them will do a little bit, but this is the steepest angle I've seen in any of these 32-inch 4K monitors into a 90-degree sort of vertical mode. Really awesome design here. You can also swivel and of course pivot. I haven't tried using this as an additional monitor to my setup, but for my comparison video, which is coming up, I did have it side by side with the LG monitor I just reviewed. And with Windows, everything works perfectly, right? The resolutions were all there. I could still like do everything I wanted to, duplicate or extend the monitors. So no issues really. Now, let's talk about this anti-glare display, because this is incredible. When I saw this for the first time at Samsung, I couldn't believe it. Initially, when I arrived at this place and I looked where they put it, I was like, why would you put a monitor right next to this bright window? That's silly. That's something that I would do. But when I got closer to it and got to use it, it made perfect sense. They did it on purpose, I think. It was like, look at how close to the window we are, and there's literally almost no reflections. It's great for gaming in the dark. It's great for gaming in bright light. It's great for productivity in bright daylight. It's great for productivity in the dark as well. And it's also a smart TV and a gaming hub. It's like, run out of breath here. It's so many things in one, right? I'm working on a comparison video, by the way, but here's a sneak preview for you so you have an idea, right? This side by side with the LG 32GS95UE. That monitor is insane too, for various reasons, and you should check out my video after this, of course. But when it comes to the anti-glare technology, it's a very clear winner here for me, right? Samsung smashed it out of the park. I don't know what they've done here. They call this the OLED Glare-Free, and not just with artificial lights that I'm showing you here, but natural light too. It actually is very effective in daylight. It does a tremendous job really at reducing all of that. The glare-free technology is not the only thing that Samsung are innovating here. They added a new cooling system, which is also something that really caught my eye when I saw the launch event. This is a first on a monitor like this. It's basically a pulsating pipe inside the monitor that works in preventing burn-in. It works by reducing the temperature, and it does that 5 times faster than the older graphite sheet method. When it comes to burn-in prevention, it also detects things like a window taskbar or a logo, anything that's static in the display, and reduces the brightness just for that area, again, to prevent burn-in. Really clever stuff. On top of all that, Samsung are also explicitly saying now that they will offer burn-in warranty as part of their main sort of 3-year warranty. Here's exactly that, the wording as at the time of recording anyway, directly from Samsung's website. This is great news, and I've been kind of looking at Reddit, and there's a lot of people out there concerned about this. I think is great news and something that should put your mind at rest. Software support, by the way, in terms of getting security updates, is at least 5 years, they say. Again, very good to know. Time will tell with the burn-in stuff, but it feels like, to me anyway, with all these preventative measures, maybe burn-in is becoming a thing of the past. We'll have to wait and see. And these measures are not all new to this monitor, right? Other brands are doing something like that as well. But it's really relevant for this monitor, in my opinion, because it's meant to be used for more than just gaming, as you're gonna see here today. But when it does come to gaming, this has been incredible. Don't have words to describe it. It's one of the best out there, right? I feel like I'm a little bit of a kid right now in a candy shop with all these monitors coming out with awesome panels. 4K gaming at 240 Hertz. It's just such a big jump from what I'm used to. I was quite happy with 144 Hertz. The reality is though, right? This is an extreme scenario here. We've got windows on both sides of this room. Usually probably just have one window in the room, right? This is a kind of an industrial building, and it's got just lots of windows, which I love for certain situations, but obviously to play game in a monitor, especially if it was a glossy one, it would be a struggle, and it has been if I tried my Alienware, my curved Alienware monitor. With this, as you can probably tell here, right, I'm not the best gamer, but I can't, I'm not struggling to see enemies, I'm not squinting to see stuff, and it's, even though I literally have sunshine coming in here. And it's pretty sunny as well. I mean, it's not like it's cloudy or anything. There's actually, as you can see here, look, there's sunshine coming through the window. The fact that I'm able to play in these conditions, yeah, it's incredible really. Sometimes, I'm serious, I have to stop what I'm doing in the game and just look around and appreciate how beautiful everything looks. I am driving all of this with a 4090 card, to be fair, but it doesn't take away from the fact that the colors and the black levels are stunning on this monitor. In terms of response time, we're talking 0.03 milliseconds gray to gray, which is very much in line with all the other leaders in this space. It supports HDR10 Plus gaming and G-Sync as well to make sure that there's no lag or image tearing going on. And in the last month or so that I've had this monitor, in all my gaming tests that I've done, I haven't noticed any glitches or any sort of flickering or tearing, no issues at all. I'm not sure about the G6 model, but the G8 here has got pretty decent speakers too. Nothing special, but better than the typical speakers that we get on monitors, or we used to get on monitors. It's a 10 watts output, so don't expect it to be a speaker replacement, but it's good enough in a lot of situations. And when you're watching content using smart TV apps, Samsung also adds something called Active Voice Amplifier Pro, which is a long name, but essentially uses AI to analyze your background noise and enhance dialogue. I'll be quiet for a moment so you can hear the speakers for yourself.
Sorry about that. Really coming close. Okay, copy.
The second part of the season has been much more positive.
B1, baby, B1. Ma questa cosa è la parte più ripida. Sì.
The fight for the second place in the constructors, the main target is to beat the Mercedes. I've seen the progress of the team and how much everybody has been.
This is really cool. I mean, it's basically doing audio processing on the fly for you. And you're definitely going to notice this a bit more in content that has dialogue. That keyboard, by the way, that you're seeing here throughout the video is an absolute joy to use. This is the Keychron P1 Limo Key, I think, Limo Key. And I'll leave a link to it down below for you. It doesn't just look and sound good, but it feels amazing to play games with it. When it comes to connectivity, I do have another bit of criticism here, which is the lack of USB-C ports. It's not just a Samsung thing, by the way, but why? It's 2024, guys. Start putting... For a smart gaming monitor though, I would love to be able to, you know, have a couple of USB-C ports in there, use it as a mini hub, right? I did use this monitor with my Mac, using a docking station, connecting the display port to the docking station, and that is obviously connected to the Thunderbolt to the Mac. No issues at all, but it would be nice to be able to connect directly using USB-C. The display port is 1.4 and we get HDMI 2.1 and a couple of USB-A as well and a Type B for good measure. It has Bluetooth 5.2 and the wireless is Wi-Fi 5. In terms of the menu, of course, we have two menus here. One is specific for gaming, which will come on automatically when you start gaming, and the usual smart TV menu. The software Samsung has here is the TyzenOS that they've got. I'll be honest, I've had issues with the software before. I've been using the M8 smart monitor for a couple of years now, and it's not been the smoothest, I have to say, from a software perspective. Great functionality, but a little bit buggy. So I was a little bit skeptical trying to use this, but I was pleasantly surprised actually to see how snappy it is and how just smooth it works. And aside from a couple of quirks, I haven't noticed any major issues. What I mean by quirks is sometimes the monitor wouldn't recognize that I changed from my gaming PC to the Mac, and it would cause the resolution on the Mac to look really strange. A simple restart fixed that, and it doesn't happen all the time, to be fair. I do love the fact that it has a remote control too. I really think that's a pretty underrated feature if you ask me. And actually, unlike a previous monitor remote I was using, I mean, you can tell it's pretty similar. This one doesn't seem to interfere with my Samsung TV that I've got at the back here in the studio. Through this remote, you can also quickly access the gaming menu just by pressing and holding the pause menu. And I think that's really handy. You know, when you're gaming, you really don't want to be stopping and faffing with the buttons, especially remember those little joysticks at the back that you gotta like blindly trying to guess what you're doing. Of course, that joystick is still there at the back and you can use that no problem. But yeah, it's much easier with this. There's a new processor in here too, the NQ8 AI Gen 3 processor, and that is actually helping upscale the content to 4K resolution. Whenever it finds the content that is lower res, it will do that. And it's pretty awesome for watching content on eyes as well in any light situation. I've been really impressed with the quality here. Very sharp image in 4K 60, of course, very smooth. The black levels are really nice and deep as well. No tearing when playing games either in this lighting, so yeah, really awesome. So whether you're using things like the gaming hub or watching content, that new processor is helping with the upscaling, which is really cool in real time. What I would say is that for cloud gaming, which is a great feature to have here, the brightness isn't the best. Everywhere else, the brightness is great and it's totally doable to use, of course, but not comparable to what you get with a dedicated gaming PC output, right? But hey, just being able to play some of the latest games online without a console, just by connecting a Bluetooth like the controller to the monitor, that is such a nice feature. And I was actually using that before with my other 2-year-old monitor. It does require a subscription to something like Xbox Live, but in my opinion, well worth it. As you can see here, I've been playing Battlefield, Mortal Kombat, Forza Horizon, really cool games. Even Black Myth Wukong, which has just come out, yeah, it's great. But you're gonna need GeForce Now subscription for that one. But just being able to do that without a console, yeah, it's amazing. Watching YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime on this has been really good too in any condition. You can really notice the upscaling in action here too, making everything looks really sharp. Really good for those times when you just want to take a break from gaming and just watch some content and you don't need to go to your smartphone or a different device or a TV. It's all in here in the same monitor, right? This Netflix footage that you're seeing here, for example, yeah, superb quality. Not too dissimilar to what I get on my 4K TV at home. Really good brightness too overall. By default, it comes to something like 50%, so you gotta like bump it up a little bit. I always use it between 80 and 100. Depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing productivity work and it's late at night, for example, right now it's midnight, I usually do turn it down a bit just to kind of, not hurt my eyes too much. And talking about productivity, I've been amazed by the text clarity on this monitor. With OLED monitors in the past anyway, it's been one of those disappointing things when you get amazing, great quality for gaming, and after you play a few games, then you wonder, I wonder if I could also do my work on this monitor, right? Only to realize that there's ghosting and text is really fuzzy. Well, not here. Without going into the whole QD-OLED and sub-pixel layout conversation, instead I'll just show you how good it looks here. In here I'm just using some bog standard office documents, right? Black and white, some spreadsheet work, and as you can see, it's faultless. And to answer the original question from the top of the video, is this monitor worth the price? I would say when it first came out and the pre-order was like 1200, maybe 1300 in some places, yeah, that was a little bit salty. Now with some discounts becoming available and the price just naturally coming down, and considering how much is being packed in here in terms of features and smart functionality, I would say yes, it's absolutely worth the money if you're going to use the monitor for more than just gaming. And there's a whole bunch of features that I didn't even include in this video that kind of reflect Samsung as a whole. I see the same approach in their smartphones and tablets too, where they add a lot of features, not really afraid to bring things to market and delighting customers. And I love that. Don't forget to share this video if you liked it, give it a thumbs up as well. And if you like my content, it would be awesome to have you subscribed as well. There's loads more coming up. Galaxy Buds thing, iPhone 16, lots to come, including my LG dual mode monitor comparison. Hope to see you soon.